Councilman Watson, and committee staff, thank you for holding this hearing today and for the opportunity to address you on the affordable housing crisis in Los Angeles. I'm Susie Shannon with the Los Angeles Coalition to End Hunger and Homelessness, an organization which advocates on behalf of the homeless and those on the periphery. We are here in solidarity with our national coalition partners, spearheaded by NESRI and NTIC, and our local partners, the USC School of Social Work, LA CAN, Power, Union de Vecinos, Beyond Shelter, the ACLU of Southern California, and ACORN, and support future hearings in other cities throughout the country. The city and county of Los Angeles was in a housing crisis before the foreclosure crisis and economic recession came along. The current economic collapse has only exacerbated the situation. Just under 74,000 people are homeless in Los Angeles County, and approximately 40,000 of those live in the city of Los Angeles. Currently, local government cannot meet the basic needs of our homeless population, has done an inadequate job preventing homelessness, and is not prepared to provide services for the 21,000 estimated new homeless in Los Angeles County in the next 2 years due to rising unemployment. Our homeless population has been harassed by police officers. This is part of the rising tensions of increasing homelessness. I've experienced that myself and seen it. On one occasion, we were handing out blankets to the homeless, and a man came up to me who had cancer and asked for 2 blankets because it was raining. His stuff had been confiscated by police officers, and he wanted 2 blankets, put one underneath him and one above him. So this is something that really needs to be addressed. Our shelter system is in crisis. On several occasions, we've been unable to find shelter space for our clients. Many of the emergency shelters in Los Angeles are full on any given night, and some keep waiting lists. The West Los Angeles Path Shelter currently has a one-month waiting list. Our transitional shelters as well are full. Alexandria House, a transitional shelter for women and children, will not be taking any new residents for 9 months or longer. The Housing Authority of Los Angeles closed our Section 8 applications in 2004. They are now servicing constituents who applied in 2002 and 2003, which has made it difficult for us who are trying to get people into Section 8 housing. HACLA has a set aside of about 4,000 vouchers for the homeless as part of a special program. This program is now frozen until May 2009. The homeless population can only access these vouchers through one of HACLA's contracted nonprofit agencies, and the problem is that most of these agencies are full. We did a phone survey, and most of them have reported that they either met to capacity or exceeded the number of referrals that they made to HACLA for these vouchers. Our clients have also been purged from the Section 8 waiting list because it's difficult for them to maintain a consistent address during the lengthy time it takes between applying for Section 8 and being contacted for an interview. One woman called us, she called and said, I applied 17 years ago and still have not heard from HACLA. Another man was homeless, living in his car, had a colostomy bag, and needed to get into housing. And when I talked to HACLA, it turned out that he had been on the Section 8 waiting list and on the public housing waiting list, but had been purged from both. Public housing also is in crisis. The waiting list for public housing can be years long, depending on whether it is an individual or a large family trying to access housing. We must preserve our public housing stock and expand the units available to extremely low-income tenants. We support national legislation for an immediate moratorium on the demolition disposition of public housing nationwide. Of immediate concern in Los Angeles are the tenants residing at the Jordan Downs housing community. It's unclear whether all of the current tenants will be allowed to move into the replacement housing without having to reapply for public housing and endure background and other eligibility checks. About 600 families from Pico Aliso and Pico Village never made it back into replacement housing, and we want to make sure this doesn't happen at Jordan Downs as well. We support a national policy that will provide a presumption of eligibility for current tenants to ensure that public housing residents will be allowed to move into replacement housing. We want one-for-one replacement. We want a resident's right to return. We also seek reversal of all punitive policies such as the one-strike eviction policies, mandatory community service requirements, and permanent bans on living in subsidized housing if convicted of a felony. More than 360,000 affordable apartments have been lost since Congress dismantled the Title VI Preservation Program in 1996. For HUD-subsidized housing, Congress must enact a national right of first purchase in the preservation bill to address this problem.